Good afternoon, and welcome to the 1993 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards. The Excellence in Broadcasting Awards is sponsored by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association to recognize outstanding achievement by Wisconsin radio and television broadcasters. The competition was established to encourage the highest standards of reporting, community service, and production creativity. It brings the ultimate prize, peer recognition, to members of the broadcast industry in Wisconsin. We also wish to take this opportunity to thank the Miller Brewing Company for making this afternoon's program possible. To ensure the broadest participation and recognize the widest range of accomplishments, the WBA Awards Committee has created 11 different news, community and public affairs, and production award categories for each of 3 market sizes in both radio and television. Today's presentation recognizes the best of Wisconsin radio and television broadcasting in those categories. Our first category is Spot News. In major market television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WTMJ-TV Milwaukee for Explosion at the 128th by the WTMJ-TV4 news staff. In Spot News Small Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WKBT-TV La Crosse for Flood, Day 1 by the Channel 8 News team. In Spot News Medium Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WISC-TV Madison for Camp Randall Stampede. Joel Despain reporter, Paul Marble, Doug Wall, and Jim Abraham photographers.
It had been so long, 12 years since the Badgers beat the Wolverines. This is an intense high. Police struggle to keep the peace, but in the student section, thousands are surging forward trying to take the field in celebration, but are stopped by a fence.
Open the gates!
We need a paramedic, man. Oh my God.
Triumph quickly was turning to tragedy.
People started coming down on top of us. We were laying down with about 20, 30 people on us. I thought we were going to die.
In Spot News Major Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WTMJ AM Milwaukee for Airport Explosion by the WTMJ News team. In Spot News Medium Market Radio, the Best of 1993 is a 3-way tie between WHBY AM Appleton for Mishap on the Fox River, Ray Waiter reporter, and WIZM AM La Crosse for No Guest at the Guest House, Scott Stolenwerk reporter, and WIZM AM La Crosse for It Blew Off the Roof, Kevin Kennedy producer, Brad Williams and Scott Stolenwerk reporters. In Spot News Small Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WBKV AM West Bend for Cancun Bus Crash. Kevin Pachuki and Bernadette Parr, producers, reporters.
A phone call from the hospital to the father of Tricia Holtz was the only clue Eleanor Holmes received about the bus accident in Cancun. Holmes says a hospital in Mexico needed some information to operate on 10-year-old Tricia, who suffered injury in the crash.
We did not get the phone call ourselves from Cancun. The father of Tricia, Dale Holtz, got the call, and they had to have some numbers faxed down there before they would operate on her arm. And that's the only call we got from down there at all.
Holmes' twin daughters, Jean Holtz and Joan Young, both 36 years old, were killed. Her granddaughter, 11-year-old Tiffany Holtz, and 11-year-old Stephanie Young died in the crash. And 35-year-old Jim Young, Jean's husband, also died. Holmes says they've received about 300 supportive phone calls from friends. The Schmidt Funeral Home of West Bend is putting together a trust fund for expenses and Tricia's education. I'm Kevin Pachuki, WBKV News.
Our second category is Hard News Story. In major market television, The Best of 1993 is WTMJ TV Milwaukee for The Repeat Offender, Mike Cosnar reporter, Ray Lapine photojournalist, Bob Gallagher editor. In hard news, medium market television, the Best of 1993 is WBAY TV Green Bay for Stabani's Dogs, Laureen Wagner and Cynthia Archbold reporters, Mary Rogas and Jonathan Chastain producers. In hard news, small market television, the Best of 1993 is WEAU TV Eau Claire for SSI Closes by the WEAU TV News Center staff.
Today is a sad day for all of us at the SSI.
The dream that Steve Chen began 5 years ago, a dream to build the world's fastest supercomputer, came to an end today. Supercomputer Systems has closed its doors. The company's first prototype turned off. Employees relieved of their positions.
I'm proud of our accomplishment over the past 5 years as we are truly have created the world's most powerful supercomputer system.
The recent decision by IBM to end its financial partnership with SSI sent the company searching desperately for another investor. A 2-week quest around the world turned up nothing.
There was interest from a number of them in the technology and the intellectual property as from both a hardware and a software standpoint, but there was not a company that wanted to provide the level of funding that was required for 1993.
In hard news, major market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WISN-AM Milwaukee for Brightlow Shooting. Mary Asen, Doug Gavel, Denise Katarabek, Tony Perkins, Judy Steffes, and Jay Weber, reporters. In hard news stories, small market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WMEQ-AM Menominee for Take Back the Night. Jason Holt, reporter, Terry Miller, producer. In hard news story, medium market radio, the Best of 1993 is KFIZ-AM Fond du Lac for Water Over the Bridge. Greg Stensland, reporter.
At least a dozen Fond du Lac residents are spending the night at Evans Elementary School, forced to flee their homes as the Fond du Lac River overflows its banks. And nearly 50 more are spending the night with friends and relatives. Fond du Lac Emergency Government Director Roger Ebner says the decision to evacuate residents along Marys Avenue and Western Avenue was made shortly before 11 o'clock tonight. The residents are being transported to the school by city bus. Rebecca Renz-Air was forced to leave her home.
My backyard is flooded and the water was to the bottom step of my basement. And it didn't look to me like there was any imminent danger right now, but I'm concerned if it rains again.
Joanna Scholl lives on Hickory Street, 2 houses from the river.
The river is probably about an inch below the bottom of the bridge, going very rapidly, and the police just came and asked us or advised us to leave because of the situation on Western Avenue.
Our third category is mini documentary or series. In small market television, the Best of 1993 is WKBT-TV La Crosse for Multiple Personality Disorder series. Sue Ramsett, reporter, producer. In mini documentary or series, medium market television, the Best of 1993 is WHA-TV Madison for Clinton Healthcare Plan. Art Hackett, writer-producer, Wendy Woodard and Bruce Johnson, videographers, Kurt Sorensen and Brad Way, sound recordists. In mini documentary or series, major market television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WITI-TV Milwaukee for Sexual Predators. Myra Stanchik, Joyce Garbasiak, and Jeff Jackson, reporters.
I jumped on top of her. I tried ripping off her jogging suit. I've been sexually deviant most of my life, starting at a very early age. I would fantasize about raping them. I would begin stalking them, studying their patterns, studying the routes that they take throughout the city.
They are frightening words. They are the words of a serial rapist going through a Wisconsin prison counseling program. It was 1990 when he was sentenced to prison, convicted of 4 counts of sexual assault. His last victim was just 13 years old. He is a rapist who will be out of prison in 4 years, maybe sooner. And when he's set free, he still may be a very dangerous man.
Some people might say, you're a sick person. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I'm very sick.
You still are?
Yes, I am. I'm always going to have sick thoughts like that, and I'm always going to have these kind of impulses to do this.
In mini documentary or series, Major Market Radio, the best of 1993 is WTMJ AM Milwaukee for Thou Shalt Not Touch, Sherry Preston, reporter. In mini documentary or series, Small Market Radio, the best of 1993 is WRDB AM Reedsburg for Some Gave All, Kurt Lewis and Jen Myers, writers, producers. In mini documentary or series, Medium Market Radio, the best of 1993 award goes to WAXX-FM Eau Claire for Underage and Under the Influence, Chris Lotto, reporter.
2 area high school students are coping with life after alcohol. Reporter Chris Lotto talks with them in part 1 of our series, Underage and Under the Influence.
The end of another school day at Eau Claire's North High School, and for 2 students, 18-year-old Lee and 17-year-old Lisa, it means the end of another school day while staying sober. Both say they began drinking alcohol when they were 12 years old. For Lee, many of her friends began drinking first.
I liked it right away, and I did it whether anybody else did it or not. I did it alone, and it didn't matter.
Lisa says she had her first drink at a birthday party.
I just wanted to see, what it was like, and then after that it just progressed. I took to it right away.
For Lee, her use of alcohol coupled with drugs led to a life-threatening experience at age 13.
One night I drank and took some pills, and for a while there I had some older friends, and they turned me on to coke.
Our 4th category is feature-length documentary. In Major Market Television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WITI-TV Milwaukee for Another Empty Barn. Boyd Huppert, reporter-producer, Jim Wilson, photojournalist. In feature-length documentary Medium Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WHA-TV Madison for The Milwaukee, Rebirth of a River. Dave Hestet, producer, videographer, and editor. In feature-length documentary Small Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WKBT-TV La Crosse for the Creepy Coulee region. Adam Schrager, Bob Delaporte, and Chuck Odzma, reporters.
Good evening and happy Halloween. Welcome to the Creepy Coulee region. I'm Bob Delaporte, and with me is Adam Schrager. Now for the next half hour, we're going to be telling you some stories from around the area. Some scary and some just downright strange.
Since the beginning of time, people have argued and debated over whether in fact there is an afterlife. Bob and I have our own opinions, as I'm sure you have your own opinion as well. So for the next half hour, our job here tonight is really not to convince you one way or another as to whether there are or are not ghosts. Instead, we're here to tell you some good ghost stories. And when better to tell these ghost stories than Halloween night?
Now, one of the better stories is up in Winona, Minnesota, where St. Mary's College has found itself in the middle of a ghost story for more than 50 years.
It was a fall day, much like this one at St. Mary's College in Winona, except the year was 1915.
In feature-length documentary Major Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WUWM-FM Milwaukee for Urban Retail Redevelopment. Bob Bach, reporter-producer. In feature-length documentary Small Market Radio, there were no entries in this category. In feature-length documentary Medium Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WDUZ-AM Green Bay for High Wind. Rick Kohler, reporter, producer.
It really began back in the middle 1970s when I visited an interesting experimental community in Scotland where people had come together with the idea of living with a lot more awareness and consciousness in how they related to all aspects of life, to the plants they were growing, to their work, as well as to human beings, to create a harmonious balance. And at a time long before we began to talk as much as we are now about the needs to live with greater awareness on the planet, they were already saying, putting out the red flags and saying, if we don't do something immediately, our whole civilization is in jeopardy.
Our fifth category is feature. In feature small market television, the best of 1993 is a tie. WEAU-TV Eau Claire for Spelling Bee, Terry Bell reporter, Steve Betchgall photographer, and WXOW-TV La Crosse for Clark Terry, David Soley reporter. In feature medium market television, the best of 1993 is WISC-TV Madison for In God We Trust, Bill Roach, producer, photographer. In feature major market television, the best of 1993 award goes to WISN-TV Milwaukee for Toy Test Detective, Dwayne Gay, reporter, John Kenny, photojournalist.
It was my first assignment on the new job. I'd been on the beach for a couple of months and I was anxious to get back in the game. We were acting on a tip. Some big-name business types were up to some shenanigans at a posh downtown pad. I was sent in to investigate. What I found was unbelievable. Grown men, rich men, playing with slinkies. Two guys from Arthur Anderson and Company putting the squeeze on a guy, but only one of them willing to take the fall. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, Bob Pekenbrook, programming manager at WOKY, fondling Barney. After we were discovered, things started moving fast and getting pretty rough. It was time to find out who's responsible. All right, we found the kingpin of the whole caper over here. Marianne, aren't these people too old to be playing with toys?
No, these are executives testing toys for our second annual Toy Tips Executive Toy Test. We're too young to play with toys.
In feature small market radio, the best of 1993 award goes to WBKV-AM West Bend for Sitting by German, Kevin Pachuki, reporter. In feature medium market radio, the best of 1993 award goes to KUWS-FM Superior for Saving Lake Superior Shipwrecks, Mike Simonson, reporter, producer. And in feature major market radio, the best of 1993 award goes to WTMJ-AM Milwaukee for Guinness Stout, John Boss, reporter.
You sleep very soundly, and it keeps you healthy.
Now, this is something I happen to know something about. Guinness Stout, that wonderful, rich, creamy head crowning the ebony ale that Derry Haggerty calls a meal in a glass. He says in Ireland, the dock workers have Guinness for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
They have 2 or 3 pints, and they don't need anything. And they all look nice, rosy cheeks and quite plump, and they all look healthy. Yeah. Whether they are or not, I don't know, but they look healthy.
If you've never had a Guinness on draft, then you really haven't had a Guinness Stout. The stuff in the bottles, while from the same brewery, is a completely different beer. Derry admits it is an acquired taste.
It takes a while to get used to it. And I've converted a lot of people here. When they drank it first, they said, God, it tastes like stale coffee, you know?
Oh, but once that taste is acquired, it's one you'll dream about. But be careful. Derry Haggerty tells me there may be a secret ingredient in that pint of stout.
Some people say there's a little bit of an aphrodisiac in there. They say there's a baby in every glass. That's another thing that's used, you know? That's right.
In our sixth category, editorial or commentary, in major market television, the best of 1993 award goes to WITI-TV Milwaukee for Crime Does Not Play, delivered by WITI-TV President and General Manager Andrew Potus. In editorial or commentary small market television, there were no entries. In editorial or commentary in medium market television, the best of 1993 is WHA-TV Madison for We're Number 2, written and delivered by Dave Iverson, Bruce Johnson, videographer, Tom Naunis, sound recordist, and Daniel Abel, video effects.
We're number 2. As everyone knows and probably is already sick of hearing, Money Magazine named Madison the second best place to live in America, just a snowflake behind Rochester, Minnesota. Self-satisfied Madisonians clearly feel triumphant about this regal status, but before smugness spreads across the city like algae across Lake Mendota, there are a few problems still lurking along the isthmus, ones Money Magazine obviously chose to overlook. We thought it was our duty to point out the problems Madison will have to solve if it wants to be better than second class. First, the lakes themselves. They're emerald jewels, all right, green as guacamole. And you sure don't want to breathe deeply while watching the sun sink into the slime. So, Madison problem number 1?
The way Lake Mendota smells about this time of the year.
Right, we've got to get the green out. Of course, getting the green out is a favorite pastime here in Ticket City, USA. Obviously, nobody from Money Magazine actually came here and tried to park while putting together their story. As for other curbside attractions, well, how about the ongoing Madison Street Beautification Program?
In editorial or commentary, major market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WKTI-FM Milwaukee for State Blob, Ed Hinshaw, writer, producer. In editorial or commentary small market radio, there were no awards given in this category. In editorial commentary medium market radio, the Best of 1993 award is a tie between WSAU-AM Wausau for Wausau Schools, delivered by General Manager David Armstrong, Al Lippert, writer-producer.
Something frightening happened at the Wausau School District annual meeting. The people at the meeting voted to pay the school board $2,300 a year. Paying this particular school board is scary enough, but something else happened. Perhaps 100 people walked out in disgust over the district's busing plan. There was something significant about this particular action. Some of those people were literally walking out on public education, and some of them will not come back because they are totally frustrated and angry that they have not been listened to. The public education establishment in Wausau stacked the deck at that annual meeting. They have every right to do that, but a huge mistake is being made here. Maybe no one has noticed, but public education in this country is in big trouble. Public schools in our larger cities especially are failing miserably, and there is growing pressure for school choice. The Wausau School District is continuing to make the mistakes that schools in large cities have made.
And WOFM-FM Mosinee for School Recall, delivered by General Manager Doug Wick. Tom King, writer-producer.
Some people may see the upcoming Wausau School Board recall election as a one-issue discussion on busing. Unfortunately, the debate entails much more. Everyone must make their own decisions on the merits of both arguments, but you must also ask yourself some very hard questions. Is the support for your position educationally sound? Does the solution you support serve all students? Are your feelings for the personalities involved carrying more weight than they should? Is your decision based on race? The last question is the toughest. Whether we choose to believe it or not, racism is prevalent in this community. Whether it's open or hidden, racism, when it comes to the education of our children, is something we cannot tolerate. Finally, demand information from the people who are asking for your vote. Without this, making an informed decision is impossible, and we can't think of much that is more dangerous than an uninformed voter.
This editorial comment is the viewpoint of the WOFM editorial board. Opposing viewpoints of merit are welcome. Contact us at 101 Grand Avenue, Wausau, 54403.
In our seventh category, effective use of the medium, small market television, the Best of 1993 is WXOW-TV La Crosse for Amish Resolve, John Saki, producer. In effective use of the medium market television, the Best of 1993 is a tie. WISC-TV Madison for AIDS, Katie Sy, reporter-producer, Bill Roach, photographer-producer. And WHA-TV Madison for Get Real, Karate Kid Story, Elizabeth Chobanian, producer, Andy Pigeon, Tom Miksch, videographers and editors. In major market television, effective use of the medium, the Best of 1993 award goes to WTMJ-TV Milwaukee for A Simpler Time, Steve Betcher, photojournalist.
I guess it's just the idea of trying to relive some of the old days like everyone does, and this is just our way of doing it.
All I can tell you that even as a little kid, when they'd give me a coloring book, the only pictures I'd ever color were the ones with the horses in. You worked it, you planned it, and when that thing comes up and it looks so nice to you, it's just such a good feeling. Get up! The grain is there and it's ready to be harvested. You came along in those days with the grain binder. Get up! Cut the grain off and it tied it in bundles. Even in its day when people were doing it and it was their living, by getting together and doing it, it made it an event. The whole thing was an event, a social event. When it came to loading onto the wagons, at least the neighbors were there helping.
In effective use of the medium small market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WFAW-AM Fort Atkinson for Badgers Rose Bowl Bound, Tom Pattison, reporter, producer. In effective use of the medium market radio, the Best of 1993 award is a tie between WAYY-AM Eau Claire for Underage and Under the Influence, Chris Lotto, reporter-producer, and KUWS-FM Superior for Saving Lake Superior Shipwrecks, Mike Simonson, reporter-producer. And in effective use of the medium major market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WISN-AM Milwaukee for Overcrowding at MPS, Mary Asen, reporter.
I'm Mary Asen, WISN News. Welcome to Story Elementary School in Milwaukee. It's one of a dozen or so schools that would benefit from expansions if the $366 million school building referendum passes. Principal Kathleen Gomez has heard the arguments against the referendum.
See, when I get these phone calls from irate people that tell me that the taxes and blah, 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 I don't get into it with them. I just, come on out and I'll give you a tour.
And a tour will show you a 56-year-old building that does have big, airy classrooms and is not unattractive.
You drive past one of these MPS schools and you say, they're beautiful. What are people complaining about? And they are. I mean, look at the tile work here, and I'm sure you saw the stained glass, and you've seen the wood work. I mean, they're gorgeous, but it ain't enough.
Not enough for 516 students. There are 2 classrooms for each grade from 5-year-old kindergarten through 8th grade, but there are not enough for special programs like English as a second language. That's where Story Elementary is forced to improvise.
Our 8th category is Community Affairs Activity. In small market television, the Best of 1993 is WEAU-TV Eau Claire for Not for Kids, a combined effort by the entire staff of WEAU-TV. In Community Affairs Activity Major Market Television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WITI-TV Milwaukee for Milwaukee Delivers, Charles Benson, Tom Hooper, and Myra Stanchik, reporters, Mary Krusik, photographer. In Community Affairs Activity Medium Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WBAY-TV Green Bay for Operation H2O by the WBAY-TV News and Promotion staffs.
Good evening. Residents in northeast Wisconsin are opening their hearts and their pocketbooks after a tragedy in Des Moines, Iowa. For the past 2 days, we've told you about Operation H2O. The water drive is sponsored by TV2 and WIXX, along with Schneider Trucking and Kopp's Food Stores. People came out all day at both the Green Bay West Kopp's and the Appleton Kopp's to help out. Lisa Kruger helping us out now, joining us live from the store in Appleton. Lisa, how are donations going?
Maureen, it's been really successful. Here's just one example.
As of 9 this morning, this truck had about 532 cases of Buffalo Don's water in it. It took just 20 minutes for that water to be sold out to head to victims in Des Moines, Iowa. And even after all that water was gone, people just kept on giving.
Very, very much. Much appreciated. That's a check for $100. Holy Lord. This is for another case of water?
When the water sold out, the cash came flowing in. By noon, Project H2O volunteers already collected $3,000 in Appleton alone.
In Community Affairs activities Small Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WRDB-AM Reedsburg for WRDB 39th United Fund Radio Auction. Tom Bashinsky, producer. In Community Affairs activity Medium Market Radio, the Best of 1993 is a tie between WWR-WFM Wisconsin Rapids for Dorn's benefit, Ed Paulson, Promotion and Program Director, and WIZM-FM La Crosse for Water Everywhere, Not a Drop to Drink, Kelly Wilde and Kevin Kennedy, producers. In Community Affairs activity Major Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WOLX-FM Madison for Rhythm and Boom series. Fletcher Keys, producer, Dave Duncan and Angie Harris, writers.
WOLX was a co-founder of Rhythm and Booms. The project was conceived to create a patriotic celebration for Southern Wisconsin and a fundraiser for Southern Wisconsin's school libraries. Surveys show 1 in 4 people from Dane County attended the event. Madison police estimate it was by far the largest public event ever held in the city. The event raised $10,000 for the libraries.
Rhythm and Booms, a world-class fireworks display.
The place? Warner Park on July 3rd. Enjoy a day of family fun at Warner. Carnival rides, bingo, food, and entertainment.
On-stage music by Kirby, Vax, and the Attachments from 1:30 to 4:30, and the Torpedoes 5:30 till 8:30, preceding the fireworks.
Home early, spend the day, July 3rd at Warner Park. And be sure to bring your radio tuned to 94.9 FM, as the fireworks will be timed to music on WOLX.
The most spectacular fireworks ever in Madison.
Our 9th category is Public Service Announcement. In small market television, the Best of 1993 is WXOW-TV La Crosse for Boys and Girls Club volunteer, David Marshall, producer. In Public Service Announcement Medium Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WISC-TV Madison for Don't Start Smoking, Joe Shaneman, writer-producer, Lou Harris, editor-director, Nan Blom-Roach, coordinator. In Public Service Announcement Major Market Television, the Best of 1993 is WITI-TV Milwaukee for Coats for Kids, Robin McGill, producer, Vince Candela, talent, Patty Gorski, Community Affairs Director.
Candela's Coats for Kids has kept lots of kids warm, and that's a great feeling. It's touching to see such generosity, kids helping other kids, people reaching out to those in need. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors and volunteers for their continued support of Candela's Coats for Kids. After all, this is what it's all about.
This year, Coats for Kids collected over 22,000 coats, making the 8-year total over 125,000. Coats for Kids is another project that helps children. From TV6, a friend you can count on.
In Public Service Announcement Major Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WOLX-FM Madison for Monster Mash Bash series, Angie Harris and Dave Duncan, writers, Fletcher Keys and Sarah James, writers and producers. In Public Service Announcement Medium Market Radio, the Best of 1993 is WRJN-AM Racine for Red Cross Midwest Flood Relief PSAs, Deborah Thogerson, Ron Richards, and Tony Gazana, talent, Don Rosen, writer-producer. In Public Service Announcement Small Market Radio, the Best of 1993 is WRDB-AM Reedsburg for St. Peter's Class of 2003, Bob Zernjabel, writer-producer, with the voices of St. Peter's third grade class.
A message to Web High from the class of 2003.
Hi, we're the 3rd grade class at St. Peter's School in Reedsburg. Homecoming is this Friday. Good luck, Beavers. Beat the Rangers. In 6 years, we'll be going to our own homecoming dance. Please don't make this your last homecoming dance. Don't drink. Alcohol's for losers. Remember, we're counting on you. A happy homecoming is no accident.
A reminder to the class of 94 from the class of 2003.
Our 10th category is promotional announcement. In major market television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WISN TV Milwaukee for Skyview 12. Kip Christine, writer-producer, John Eddy, editor. In promotional announcement small market television, the Best of 1993 is WXOW TV Lacrosse for TV 19 Slam Dunk. David Marshall, producer. And in promotional announcement medium market television, the Best of 1993 is WKOW-TV Madison for Over the Line. Jill Robuska, writer-producer, Bob Gessling, editor.
Someone caught selling $3,000 of crack cocaine faces the same penalty as someone caught selling 10 times more powder cocaine. Are crack sentencing laws out of line?
Tonight on Channel 27 News at 10, we'll draw the line between crack and powder cocaine penalties and tell you why some critics say the difference is racist.
You see that there is an extreme disparity between how blacks are being treated and how whites are being treated.
Watch Over the Line tonight at 10 on Channel 27 News. Straight to the point.
In promotional announcement major market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WTMJ AM Milwaukee for Harley-Davidson 90th Reunion. Jim Gillis, writer-producer, Charlie Van Dyke, talent. In promotional announcement medium market radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WAXX FM Eau Claire for Wax Cinderella. John Murphy, writer, John Murphy, T.K. Michaels, and Tasha Wathke, producers. In promotional announcements, small market radio, the Best of 1993 goes to WNFM FM Reedsburg for T-Bird Rally Rag promo. Bob Zernjabel, writer-producer, with the voices provided by the Baraboo High School cheerleaders.
Baraboo Thunderbird winter sports season is here.
Hi, this is Sarah Hill.
And I'm Lisa Cott, and we're Baraboo cheerleaders.
This year, T-Bird fans will be able to wave their favorite teams to victory with the WNFM T-Bird Rally Rag.
T-Bird Rally Rags are going to be a really hot item, and there's a limited supply.
You can buy your WNFM T-Bird Rally Rag at most all Thunderbird sporting events, and they're only just $1.
All proceeds from the Rally Rags will go directly to the Baraboo High School Athletic Department.
Let's wave the T-Birds to a victory in '94.
Buy your Rally Rag at the next T-Bird game.
T-Bird Rally Rags are proudly sponsored by these businesses: MacArthur Towels, Baraboo Federal Bank, Darrow's Country Market, Viking Express 2 and 3 in Baraboo, Murphy Chiropractic, The Carpet Shop, Terry Tom Plumbing, Country Kitchen of Baraboo, Baraboo Cisco Foods, Thunderbird Transit, and B&B Furniture. Good luck from the home for T-Bird Sports, WNFM 104.9.
Our final category is commercial announcement. In major market television, the Best of 1993 award goes to WISN TV Milwaukee for TV Works. Patrick Baldwin, writer, John Eddy, editor, Patrick Baldwin and Kip Christine, producers. In commercial announcement medium market television, there were no entries. In commercial announcement small market television, the Best of 1993 is WXOW-TV Lacrosse for Fadra versus Distortan. Joel Patros, camera, Mitch Moths, editor, Steve Larson, director, Greg Mitchell of Sound World, producer and client.
Doctor, it's hopeless. Distortan is beating Fathra.
We must save Father. He's my friend.
I'll have Fathra save Tokyo Ability, because Sound World has all Japanese equipment on sale.
All Japanese electronics are on sale at Sound World?
Yes, so I must see that Fathra defeats Distortan.
Look out!
Distortan is vanquished.
Goodbye, Father. Thank you.
In commercial announcement Small Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WRDB AM Reedsburg for Mercer Graphics, The Proposal, Bob Zerngible, writer-producer. In commercial announcement Major Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WOLX-FM Madison for Speedy Signorama, A Sign or a Sign? Bill Phillips, producer, Dennis Kotnauer, writer. In commercial announcement Medium Market Radio, the Best of 1993 award goes to WMJB-FM Janesville for Night Owl, Fridays. Written, produced, and voiced by Tim Ettis.
The story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Hi, my name is Thursday. I work party patrol out of the West Rock County Division of Fund Control. My partner is...
Hi, this is Ross Perot.
He bought his way in. It was a typical Friday. Overpriced drinks, polyester bell-bottoms, mood rings everywhere. That is until we got a call. Something about a ladies' night at the Night Owl in Evansville. We decided to investigate. It was mod, cool, groovy, out of sight. Right away, Ross latched onto a couple of young ladies. I knew he'd be there a while when he got out his party flowcharts and graphs. He's always fun at a party.
You see, this here chart shows how Friday night lady nights are at other places. Now this here line shows
While
how
Ross
the
was
fun
explaining
is
his
here
new
at the
party
Night Owl.
package to the women, I found out about the Night Owl's double bubble for ladies between 7 and 10 on canned beer and rail drinks. Then I did the monkey and the twist with some of the ladies, and we partied hearty with Artie. He spun the best dance tunes from the 50s to today. All in all, ladies' night at the Night Owl was a blast. A real four-alarmer man. So much so I'm thinking about changing my name to Friday. Friday, ladies' night at the Night Owl, Main Street in Evansville. It's a hoot.
Thank you for joining us for the 1993 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards. Our 1993 competition produced a record number of entries. In addition to the Best of 1993 awards presented here, WBA is pleased to honor entries from over 45 stations with special merit awards. You'll find them listed in the program being distributed to you now, and merit award winners may pick up their special plaques following this presentation. Once again, we would like to thank Miller Brewing Company for making this afternoon's program possible, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. And now a special salute to all who shared their excellence in broadcasting, and congratulations from your peers to all 1993 Excellence in Broadcasting Award winners